If you're watching this video, it's because you're either considering doing a new custom build, or maybe you're in the middle of it, or just gathering some information just because you're curious and wanting to understand if it's something that is meant for you guys. However, a lot of people will approach us a little late in the game. They've already bought a lot, they've already started on designs, and then they'll reach out to us and say, hey, listen, we like what you guys are doing. We'd like you to get your engagement and helping us consult on this project to understand, are we going down the right path? What is the total cost this is going to cost us? What are some of the things that we can do to tweak to actually make the design that much more impressive? However, the problem that we run into is when I ask the question, what's your total budget? And then I try to understand, did they already go through a proper formula to figure out, are they going to be able to accomplish what they want within the budget that they have? And if we were to start from the very beginning, what could have they done differently to ensure that they're going to be as close to that budget as possible? In today's video, we're actually going to cover right from the very get-go what are the things you should be doing in the very beginning so that you can actually build that custom home and be within a budget that you intended to be at without really sacrificing the property. And at the very end, we're going to share with you an existing opportunity if you're thinking of doing a build that's already taken all of this stuff into consideration, so it's really just served up for you. And I'm really excited about it because the plans for this particular property and this opportunity is pretty awesome. One of the things we want to do is reduce the footprint of the house, reduce the entire square footage. But at the same time, more than ever, because a lot of people create something really grand by making it big. Well, we're not doing that. So how we're going to make it grand? We're going to do it through a very strong design, and then we're going to add certain features in the house that really give it that wow factor. So when somebody walks into that house, it's going to be memorable in a good way. So I'm going to highly recommend, this is where you spend a little bit more money on an architect, a designer who has the skills, who has the experience to do that. And fortunately on this project, we work with a company called Element Modern Dwellings. And think about it, even though, let's say, and I'm not saying that they charge $10,000 more, but let's say if they did, you're spending $10,000 more, but we figured out a way how to reduce our construction cost by $350,000 by changing the size. So is it worth spending an extra $10,000 on working with a designer that's going to give us a superior design that house will have a better impression than if you walked into a 4,000 square foot home that just had a lot of wasted space? So here's what I really love what they did with these designs. So number one, if you look at the front elevation of this house, it's the floor to ceiling glass. That actually gives it that presence where it really makes the house stand out. Also, it's some of the materials that they're using on the outside. Little features like on the front with the landscaping actually draw the front eye of the house to like where it now starts by where that concrete number sign is. So all these little things have a huge impact in making that house feel bigger than what it actually is. Now, if I scroll here to the main floor plan, so when you're looking at the main floor plan, they really knocked it out of the park here. So what's important is that we're going to maintain our double car garage. And then as a focal point, when you're spending money on construction, the staircase in a modern house is a really nice focal point. So not only from the outside as you're driving by through that glass, but just seeing that staircase. And by the way, the staircase is not necessarily considered as floor space. So it's a good way of kind of cheating the system to feel like you're getting a much bigger house without adding additional square footage. The other thing that was done here is, again, it has a main floor office, which is a great feature, not only for you to be able to leverage when you're living there, but if you're ever selling the house. And what did we do to give it this wow factor? Well, we added this corner window here that really accentuates the view to this street, because this street has like a roundabout on this area, so you're really seeing that panoramic view from that corner window. The millwork you'll look at is not going to be based in drywall with the normal doors on it, like those colonial doors. It's actually going to be all cladded in millwork for that entrance closet. And then there's this little feature here where there's a fireplace that's cantilevered into this kind of common area that you would see. All these different elements bring everything in and really give this house this, like I'm walking into something that really, really stands out. And then when you look at the kitchen across the back, if you notice, they didn't create a separate formal dining room. Instead, they have a massive breakfast area where the family would normally gather in the morning or lunch for a quick lunch to eat. But then their dining room is more in this open concept, less formal. But the nice thing is now for dinner, you'll actually use that dining room. And then they have this massive family room here across the back that's about 20 feet by 15 feet. Now, what I really liked about this layout too, small little things, like if you look at the powder room, it's got a pocket door and it's away from the kitchen and everything like that. But when you walk by it, the focal point is actually the sink. And this is like a signature thing that Element does that I really like. And then the toilet's kind of tucked away. So if we go back into this section on the main floor here, you'll notice the kitchen has this kind of L shape with the cabinetry across this side, the stove across the back. And then you have this really, really nice, very functional mudroom that if you didn't want to use this main entrance here for the family, they can come across the back and that very functional mudroom. And then the other thing too, is if you wanted to add a separate laundry down here, and we do have floor plans of the back, landscape plans for the backyard with a pool, but this becomes very functional as a change room, also as a laundry. So you could, like, they just literally nailed it on the first floor. Now, for this house here, again, this is just under 2,900 square feet. There's two optional plans. One is a 3-bedroom plan on the second floor, which I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but the couple things I do want to cover is just, again, the size. If you look at this open to below, where the staircase is down here, this is where you're not adding additional square footage in terms of floor space, but when you walk in, it really makes the house feel super grand. And then when you go into the master bedroom, huge walk-in closet with a beautiful ensuite. Just everything is perfectly leveraged in terms of space. And then you have a really, really nice laundry room off to the side away from the master. So there's 3 bedrooms in here with 3 different washrooms. Like I said, there isn't an alternate floor plan here, which we show, that has 4 bedrooms. So this house here is basically under 2,900 square feet. Today you can buy the lot with these designs for 1.3 million. So if you're going to be building a house that's under 3,000 square feet, and today's price, the average cost of construction, now for something like this, it depends the fit and finish. But if you're starting off at around $350 a square foot, at $350 a square foot times 2,900 square feet, the cost of construction under this house would be just over $1 million. So now, I want you to imagine, you buy the lot at 1.3 million, you end up building the house at around just over $1 million. Now you have the landscaping in the back. So if you look at the landscape plan across the back, again, a very generous sized pool. This pool, the measurement here is 28 feet long. Then you have your lounging area with also your hot tub area and the integrated steps. But what I really liked about it is that you have this outdoor living space here as well. So basically you have your dining area, and then you have your kitchen area, as well as basically a kind of a lounging with a fireplace and TV area. And within this walkway leads you directly into that mudroom. So let's just say now the cost to do this backyard with the pool, the pergola and everything like that, realistically you're going to be at around another 200,000. So the total cost of this project is now 2.5 million. And I want you to tell me, where do you buy a house that has all the features that this house would, right, at 2.5 million? And again, I didn't even get into the finished basement and the layout there, which is really impressive. But again, it's just in the interest of time. And I'll share all of this with anybody who's interested. This all started from the concept of building smaller, but hitting all the key points that any family would need. And then that way being able to find a lot in a really good area that was at a smaller footprint that we didn't have to pay a huge premium for. And now we can actually build something that is actually competing with houses that are basically at the 3 million, because on this street there are $3 million homes. So a lot of clients that we talk to feel they need 4,000 square feet because that's what they're used to seeing. Well, when we show them a layout that's closer to just over 3,000 square feet, that is very efficient. If that person who was thinking they needed 4,000 square feet, who then designed a house that was 4,000 square feet, guess what they need? They need a bigger lot, because based on lot coverage, now they need that bigger lot to fit that house. So guess what's going to happen? The cost of the land acquisition is going to be substantially more. So if, let's say the average price of a lot right now in Oakville, a 60 by 120 lot is going to cost around 1.2, 1.3 million. You can build a 3,000 square foot home. But if you think you need 4,000 square feet, now you got to buy a 75 by 150 lot. That lot can cost you anywhere from 1.8 to 2 million. So you're talking almost $500,000 more just on the lot. And if you could just go back in time and make that house slightly smaller, but still make it feel that it was just as big as 4,000 square feet, you've just saved $500,000 on the lot. And now on your construction, based on the cost of construction, depending on the finishes, you might save another $350 a square foot at easily 1,000 square feet, that's another $350,000, a total of $850,000 if you just started by making the house a bit smaller. So I hope this video has been helpful. But before we go, the last thing I'm going to tell you, the other way of actually being able to come in under what most people will be spending today in construction and buying lots is if you're able to find something that's turnkey and done, where somebody maybe bought the lot 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and built maybe within the last 3-4 years, because they didn't pay the prices they did today. Yes, they're still going to ask for a premium, but there's a very strong chance that you can buy that house today for less than what it costs to buy the land, to do the construction, and carry that house during the period of construction. And so a lot of our clients are actually kind of looking at that as a serious alternative. So if you're thinking of either buying something like that or building something like this, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help out as much as we possibly can. Until next time.